Okay. Welcome to the couch, Jennifer Becky. You just heard an exclusive from this highly talented violinist. Now, she started her musical journey when she was just 13, and her passion for the violin has grown ever since. Her career reached new heights when she played a very significant role in the popular Netflix series Bridgerton, alongside Alicia Keys and other notable instrumentalists. She's also performed at the O2 Indigo in London during the Shea Vibes live concert in August this year. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you.
All right, so who is this? Who did you bring with you?
Okay.
Tell us.
Yeah. Meet Betty.
Okay.
Yeah, this is Betty. Betty came as a gift, actually, from like one of the people that taught me in my formative years.
Okay.
Yeah. And Betty is 120 years old.
120 years old.
Yeah. It's a French-made violin, DTL.
Wow. This is this violin has seen things.
Yeah, 120 years old.
Wow, okay, so
Yeah.
you are holding Betty very delicately there,
Yep.
and rightly so. That is a relic, I can call it right now.
Yeah.
But I have to say, your journey, with music and the violin, it began here in Nigeria, but you've hit the international stage. It couldn't have been easy.
Yeah.
Let us in on how that began.
Right. So, yeah, my journey began here. Apparently, I started learning from the church.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. And to be honest, my relationship with violin wasn't love at first sight. I think it was love at first trial.
Okay.
Yeah, because my mom wanted me to learn. So my sister and I would go to church, and I would go, I would sneak out and go and play. I wouldn't,
Wow.
yeah, I wasn't staying for the lessons at all. It was just my sister, So one time my mom came and was like, okay, she wants to get us our personal violins. So she wanted to see how far we had gone, and then it dawned on me that, you have to sit up now, because mom will soon know. So that was when I decided to start learning. Yes, then I started going for the classes. Okay. And from the very first trial, I just really loved it. I just felt like, okay, I think this is this is the right instrument for me to learn. Although I didn't think I was going to be doing music fully at that time.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
I was thinking I was probably going to do science.
I have to, do a hop, skip, and jump now, because that was when you were a child, essentially.
Yeah.
And then you appeared on the international stage.
Yeah.
How did you get involved with the team at Bridgerton?
Right. Okay. So I had a project in London.
Okay.
I had gone to London a couple of times. So I had a project, and I was literally there when they needed, they were searching for women of color that played the violin. They particularly wanted Africans. Okay. So, because we went through a rigorous audition process, and yeah, they picked the ladies they wanted first, and it was a very, very, it was really amazing, to be honest. And yeah, so it was a project for women of color. Yeah. And it was also the anniversary of Alicia Keys' If I Ain't Got You. So it was like a 2-in-1 kind of project thereabouts.
So that's powerful, because at some point, I think you were about 70 violinists at a go.
Yeah.
And then they picked 4 for something. What was it they picked 4
Oh, yeah. For? So we're not just violinists. Yeah. So we're over 70 instrumentalists. We had women playing harps, trombone, tuba, double bass, the very giant one. Yeah. Yeah. So after the major project, so we had media rounds, the United Kingdom, and they wanted just 4 violinists. Wow. A quartet, actually. So that's 2 violins, 1 violist, and 1 cellist. So, and I was one of the 4 violinists. Yeah. Wow. And then, so the final project was, we rounded it up with a performance at a place called Convent Garden in London. And we were about 25 instrumentalists thereabouts, and I was there as well.
So I have to say, I understand how old and expensive this violin is. Yeah. For those that are probably, paying music classes for their kids right now, can you give a perspective of how much money you made from a project like that? To give, parents out there a perspective, okay, it's a good investment.
Okay. This is selling me out, but okay. So Each project, I mean, I'm just gonna give you like an estimate.
Of
So I
course.
mean, maybe about 1.5 to 3,000 thereabouts
Wow.
in pounds.
Wow. Whoa. So I think this is because of the unique skill that's needed to handle an instrument like this.
Yeah.
Right? Now, what's the first rule of handling a violin? What is it you're supposed to do and not do? Can you give me like a crash course in what to do with a violin?
All right. So when people like see me holding the violin and they come and they're like, "Oh, can I like play it? Can I try the violin?" I think the very, very first thing, aside.
Can you turn it to the camera so they can
Oh,
see it?
yes, sorry.
Turn the violin to the camera. Let's see the front.
All right.
Okay, all right.
So I
Fantastic.
think the very first thing like people do like mistakenly is when they grab the bow, you know, like you're not supposed to touch this white thing. It's called the horsehair, right? So people just mistakenly hold the violin and then their hands their fingers are all over the bow, right?
Okay.
So the violin bow is supposed to be held like this.
Okay.
And then most times you see people probably carrying the violin like this and holding,
Oh.
or they're grabbing the
Okay.
neck like this.
Okay.
You know, but then this is like literally the right way.
That's how you hold it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've always wondered if you get cramps whenever you're holding a
To
violin.
be honest, to be fair, when I first started the violin, in fact, I had there were many times when I'm like, you again, no, I don't want, because
Wow.
yeah, it gets really tiring when you're
Holding.
playing like this. But I feel like with time you just get really used to it.
Okay.
Because when I'm playing, I don't feel anything
Anymore.
Yeah. Although there's this signature. I call it a signature because when you see like a violinist, sometimes I meet musicians and I can tell if they're violinists.
Oh.
So yeah. So
What, is it a mark? Is it a scar?
God bless you. Yeah.
It's a mark.
Yeah. So there's always like a mark, like a scar.
Wow.
Yeah. Like that.
It's like a
Most
callus.
violinists. Yeah. You just see like a very black shade here that most violinists have. Like then you know that okay, this person has probably played for years. But I mean, there are professionals that don't have it. Yeah, because some people, when they play, some people probably puts like a napkin here or something.
Okay.
But for how long do you want to do that? Like for
I
years?
can
Come
only
on, no.
imagine.
You know, so yeah.
So if, for instance, you want to learn violin as an adult, do you think it's an easy process, or do you think it's better for you to start young?
Good question. If I had my way, I would have started way younger than I started.
Okay.
But to be honest, I don't think it's like ever too late to start playing an instrument, right? But the truth is, violin is one of the most difficult instruments, if not the most difficult instrument, actually.
Wow.
Because I know if you Google like top 5 most difficult instrument,
To learn.
if violin is not number 1, it's definitely number 2. I promise.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's actually really difficult, and it's different from the guitar because there are no frets. So you have to know where to place your hand and when. You know, one little what's it called?
Misplacement, I
Yeah,
guess.
can just send your music off guard.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I'm wondering about the violin in Africa now.
Yeah.
You just played a song that's essentially high life,
Yeah.
right? And it sounded really nice. But it's something that's just really coming into the African music scene. It's not really been so strong. Why do you think that is? And what do you think we can do to adjust that?
Right. To be honest, I think this has always been like a challenge for instrumentalists. And I've always said it that instrumentalists are not, should I say appreciated or respected? Let me say both.
Okay.
In Nigeria. Yeah. They are not, because like they respect artists more than instrumentalists. Like that's the musicians, the ones that went to school, like study music. Yeah. So I don't know where. I'll probably say, because I've actually met like a couple of people that tell me, oh, they go when they travel, like when they travel outside Nigeria, they literally pay to go to music concerts and all of that.
Yeah.
But they can't do the same here. Do you get? So everybody wants to hear Afrobeat and all of that. Even when you go to a concert and you're trying to play like other songs, they'll tell you, oh, can you play Afrobeat and all of that?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So maybe we probably just need to accept. You know, we need to.
All right.
Yeah, like we need to evolve.
I think evolving is definitely important, and I think you've already started doing a little bit of high life with the violin. I know a lot of artists are also involving live violin and other instruments
Yeah.
into their music as well. But I honestly wish we had more time to continue the
alright.
conversation. But I know they'll be able to check you out online to see some of your amazing work, and we can't wait to see what you get up to next.
Yeah, thank you.
At this point, we're going to be heading into the kitchen. Our chef has been working really hard with Winfrey. MM, I believe, is standing by with our chef right now. Would you like a bite?